Hello everyone. I know technically no one asked for this, but I am back again. After about 17 hours of pondering later, and I'm about to increase the level of my game with the second word aspect. So, a couple things happened in those 17 hours. The most important is that my base resource generation is quite off the roof. I actually make several times more than I'm actually capable of holding, and most of that is due to this little glyph that I just keep upgrading whenever I can. I've also come around to these emblems. They're actually super busted, and they really change the way you're looking at some of these spells. I quite enjoy it. In terms of research, I haven't really been doing much, just accumulating points. I did go for the arcane glyph, and unlocking the gloves, and going for the greater rest. And later on, bit of a rest mastery, because I do like me some heavy spells with long cooldowns. And having this rest is passively increasing your cooldowns when you're not casting. Obviously, got the workshop and a couple of artifacts. I kinda got carried away with it. Don't actually use all of these, only in specific scenarios, like this one right here. I have a loadout specifically for creating paper, so I'm not using the manual crafting. Also, you can actually assign equipment loadout to your spell loadout. Sometimes it's a little unwieldy, especially when you're moving between them fast. But for specific scenarios, it can work very well. Like this one, for instance. Got a Cloak of Casting over here for extra cantrip power. Got a weighted pendant at level 2. It's actually busted with the cantrip power. And with the spells we get the Whirling Sorcery for even more cantrip power, and a Mass Power that is massively increasing cantrip power. And ending with the Dance expansion that's going to generate all of these resources. Remember, this is just the base value, not counting all of these. And in this format, I have not actually tried it, so let's see how much paper we're gonna be able to generate with this. So start with this, then go with this, and wait until the very last second. Okay, almost 500,000 paper. I think I can work with this. So, as you can see, I have absolutely no need for this thing anymore. For a little while my bottleneck was Thaumic Scrolls, but I actually made yet another spell for that. I got these Conjure Lives with Precise. Precise is an augment that I don't remember ever having. These are increasing crit rating of the spell that you attach it to. But the important thing is that they make this focused emblem, which are increasing your crit rating until you actually crit. So I do enjoy that a lot. You're basically priming one of your spells for a greater likelihood of crit. So if I were to just keep doing, I usually can get it up to 4 stacks before it triggers passively, because the Precise spell itself has a higher crit rating. Okay, sometimes I get it up to 5. So that gives an additional 20 spell crit. So as you see, 13% crit chance for the Attune Orb. And the Attune Orb gives an obscene boost to magic resources. And Thaumic Scroll is in fact magic resource. So. And then slot a bunch of scrolls here. Now look at all this generation. Amazing, right? So currently I have all my crafting needs met. One other thing that I have noticed is that possibly from this point on, the game really wants you to make use of items. Of course, it starts with the various fruits that you can get from fruit trees. And from the looks of it, all of these are just refilling your missing resources. Which is nice, but I do have spares for that anyway. But the thing that is happening from this point, which I think would be the next advancement, is what the game calls treasures. These are basically random things. So far I only got scrolls, but I found 4 ways to get them. I think that's 4 technically. We got this Spark Chaos upgrade that just creates treasure. And if I read it right, once I have all the upgrades, it's going to eventually transform into... where is it? Let me find it, it was somewhere, here it is. It's gonna transform into research to give you treasure when you increase your druid level. And the other ways were still try to druidity. There's the druidic generation here that gives a chance for all your agromancy to create a treasure. And there's this dazzling workshop that gives your workshop upgrades a small chance to make treasures. Wait, that's 3. Where did I see the 4th? Ah, here it is. We can also get the treasure tree, which will just generate treasure for us. It's really interesting. I don't know how good treasures are going to be, but we will see. And the interesting little tidbit here is that because of this improved tools technology that I have, that gives me a chance to refund everything in Argomancy. So basically when you cut down a tree, you have a chance of not cutting it down. But in terms of the fruit tree, what it means, because you just collect the fruit and it goes to cooldown. With the collect fruit, when the refund actually triggers, that means that it's not going into cooldown and that it immediately gets harvested again. I actually managed to have 3 harvests in a row because of that. I think it's quite bonkers. Let's see if that happens here. Nope. Did not happen. Figures. Well, so that is where we are currently today. I'm gonna need to find a way to generate more force bark, because I'm not getting millions out of just the trees themselves. Especially considering that I have all my space taken up by the fruit tree. So let's do this thing and see what that gives us. Now, if I remember correctly, this should be alchemy, but maybe we're actually given a chance to choose. So, what's it gonna be? Okay, alchemy or rituals. Okay, so you do not actually have a choice in the aspects. Okay. Well, that's a little underwhelming, but still good. Let's grab this Spark Chaos. Let's see what comes out of it. 1 scroll of speed. Okay. And it says these scrolls can imbue an attribute with a permanent something bonus. Probably gonna have to look into it. But for now, we're gonna learn transmute and start our journey into alchemy. Transmute knowledge. What does that lead to? Transmute water. Okay, well. Okay. I was gonna say, it's a little redundant, since I have spells that already do that. Okay, mechanical capacity. How much equipment there is. And alchemical capacity. How much you can perform. I really don't remember alchemy from the early versions. So I guess we're just gonna slot control into something here. And what do we get now? We got the expert alchemy. Okay. And with innovations, greater metabolism, extra toxicity capacity, that's this thing right here. So you do have a time limit on how fast you can use consumables. Oh, greater laboratory. I do like the sound of that. It can turn into improved lab later. Okay. So for now, I should probably grab a loadout. That is good for us. Let's just go with this for the time being. Gonna work the kings out later. That's a way too. Well, bummer. Right. That works. And of course the good thing about that crit emblem is that it doesn't decay, so you can just prime any of your spells with it. Learn Dismantle. It's a good thing I have all these resources in stock. And what's now? Channel control. Extra capacity. Interesting. And now we get to choose. So that was all the basics out of the way. I think I'm understanding the way getting new spells works in the game. So you do get the basics, no matter what. And after that you do get a choice. But these also have their own little pools to choose from. So it's not like you can just purposely not choose a spell and then keep unlocking new glyphs so you can gain access to bigger ones. I actually did try that on another save, just didn't buy any spells until I unlocked nature, so I kinda tried to get a druid spell early, but it did not work, so that's what makes me think that these are working off of their own little pools. So, transmute space, or transmute control. This needs super high level of alchemy, and this needs alchemy and expansion. That is a thing that I can do. But the thing is, I have actually no need for making more space. I'm actually super well stocked, thank you. So maybe I just go with transmute control and see if I like alchemy enough to invest in it. Okay, so... I see. So this goes like this, to increase the alchemical capacity. Alright, so that's still not enough for transmute control, plus anything else. Okay. Well, it doesn't seem to be draining anything, actually. That's interesting. Let's get to brewing then. Oh, lab equipment. +1 capacity. But nothing to spend it on. Except... Okay. And it's still not draining anything. Okay. And now we get a new thing, which is... mana potion. And of course it needs water. Okay, let's slot a transmute knowledge in. Oh, maybe this draws in addition to this whenever it's working, huh? Well, one way to find it out. Need to spend a little bit of it. Nope, still does nothing. It's either a bug, or I am just that good. So we wait until it goes to Mastery 1. And then we grab Alchemist. Oof, 16 times the cost. And a quarter the speed. Well then. Oh, and Mastery is just automatic in here, okay. So what do we get? Improved brewing? Or improved transmutations? Oh, okay. So let's get some water in here. How fast can we take it? Whoa. Well, that's quite fast. Mastery 2. Oh, we got some new stuff in here. Alchemical bookcases. Nothing else. Well, okay. New innovation. Greater brewing. That's also nice. Okay, improve transmutations. That's gonna be new upgrades here, right? Yep. Ah, okay. Let's just grab this. I'm a little tempted to increase plot size, just so I can have more trees. But I'm not really sure about that. Because I have a feeling, once you go druid, you kinda have to go full druid. Not sure I want that just yet. Oh, that takes a long time, huh? What about this? And doesn't actually speed it up too much. And the strength doesn't actually matter, so let's maybe keep it like this. Bam, full again. So nice. Okay. So we are back to the slow works, essentially. Just the same thing. Well, we can just rush alchemy XP and see how materials upgrade. Still doesn't drain as fast as I was fearing it would. That's good. So let's just keep increasing capacity. Okay, what happens here? Ah, I see. Gets multiplied to an insane degree. Well, okay. In that case, let's do this. Okay, and now we're gonna be able to brew even better stuff. Okay, improve your ability to consume and use resource potions, which is what we're currently doing. Where does it say that it's a resource? It's probably in there somewhere. Well, okay. Ah, there it is. Resource potion. Okay. So resource power goes just the effect, right? And I don't think it goes retroactively, right? Huh, it actually does. Well, interesting. I seem to vaguely remember that in the older versions it actually counted as a different item. Interesting. Well, so far we have a rather abysmal inventory space that also has its own upgrade. But again, You kind of have to go all in on that, I think. And what do we get now? Experience elixir. Ooh, that's very nice. Extra power for development. And study upgrades, which are all the XP rates, huh? Okay. Or a power potion. Hold on, let's see the requirements. 2 items, 1 scholar. That is doable. Power potions, expert 5. Extra cantrip power, crit rating, cooldown time. Oh yeah, I'm definitely taking this. That's even more superpower to my cantrips. Yes, please. 100k, you say? Okay, I think I have saved up enough. Yep, I have 6 advancement. I can just get there in a single go. But maybe before that. Can I get close to 100k? Let's see about that. And we don't need the potions anymore. So we can do this. Nice. Now we're just gonna make some water while we wait. Okay, 30. I think I need to go about 70, so I can overflow to 100. Let's see. Okay, and we don't actually have the upgrade that lets us use that, huh? Well, okay then. So here's our items. Goes into archaeology. Improves relic power. That is something we don't know yet. Got item mastery. Or the code run. What's this? Improves the strength of all potions. Interesting. Oh, no wait, that's the attribute. I always confuse the research with the attribute. But it's just mixed in here. Well, okay then. I could alternatively grab a better inventory. +2 space. Yeah, you know what? I think having just one of these is fine. That's gonna take a while. And I guess we just keep working our way. I still can't say I fully understand if you maybe need a certain level before certain upgrades appear. Sure, why not? Okay, I do have enough to upgrade something. I just don't know what kind of artifacts I like better. Okay, where is it? Here it is. Super inventory. That's a whole lot of items that we're gonna be able to carry. Okay, but we are up to 4. I think that's gonna be good enough. Now let's see. Still no refunds. Well, boo. And I was kinda thinking, got a scroll of speed here that increases develop speed and basically makes it stronger. And the one I was thinking of was efficient collection, because it is a pretty pricey on its own, mostly because of the paper really. So how does this work again? Ah, this is how. Okay. So 103% at its current level. If we give it 2 extra levels, that should increase the bonus that it gets, so... Okay, that's 2%. That works. Let's hold on to these just for a little while. Grab this one. Ooh, alchemy scroll. And what does that do? We don't know yet. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I think I have everything for it. Okay, a bit of knowledge here. Okay, alternatively I could use a different loadout for it. But I kinda go with this one. Because this rock necklace actually decreases the resources that I get, but increases the quality. So I need to use less of anything when I am crafting. And that is good, because of what I'm about to do here. Just gonna stack the emblems here. Okay, up to 5, that's good. And now we just need to make enough to do some alchemic scrolling. Looks like it's gonna be at least 3 goals. But you see, the Tune Orb by itself makes this mana affinity. And because of the strong glyph, it also makes magic affinity. Pretty nifty. don't think I have a way to increase my gains all that much. These gloves would basically work on this, I think. Makes more emblems per second. Yeah, if Thaumi's scroll was elemental, then it would be much better. But not at this point. Whatever. Okay, looks like it's going to be one more go. But maybe if I were to remove this, just to have a little more gain, and then, oh, you know what, I can go with the blessed staff over here, because a tune orb is going to be the only thing that I cast, so that gives it more power, and then yeah, it doesn't affect anything else. Well, okay, we go with this one. Even more charm spell power. Oh yeah, over 1000% magic resource. And if it also happens to crit, which of course it never does when I need it. Now look at that. Perfect. Okay. Oh, that Thaumic scroll. Just for single alchemic. I'm gonna wait for the cooldown, so we can do that again. Hopefully squeeze a little more out of it. Okay, how are we doing? I still don't understand why this doesn't drain anything. Okay, I think we had quite enough water. Let's go for control. And maybe a transmute knowledge. Good enough, I think. And now let's see. Yeah, this is going to be our newest bottleneck, huh? Oof, 100 million of these for Scholaric Essence. Yeah, that's gonna take a while. Especially with Force Bark still not being replenished. Okay. Raise your alchemy level. Or learn biology. Oof, that's 1000. and 500 mil for knowledge. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. Wow, bunch of new research though. Let's see, what do we get? Gonna need expansion to continue with this one, okay? Improved transmutations. That looks pretty dope actually. And with innovations, we got greater discovery. Increase the amount of choices when discovering new spells or tools. Oh, look at that. Interesting. Very interesting that they would essentially put it behind the paywall. What else is there? Convert ability into other achievements. Oh, that only works for ability. Oh, I see. So if you have a surplus of any one thing, you can turn it into other stuff. Oh, that's nice. So I could just convert magic, since I don't really have anything I would want to use my magic for. That's nice. I'm kinda thinking greater laboratory for now, and then we'll see what it turns it into. You know what? I kinda like the idea of having more items. Let's just start increasing it, and something else will inevitably pop up. Maybe go for... Okay, at level 2 we got item mastery just appearing, which gives a chance to gain a free item when you use one. That sounds interesting. And this one's also a capstone. Level 4 items. I think I can do that. Improved materials takes expert alchemy. That gives all the resource quality. That is a very tempting thing though. You know what? Maybe one more improved casting. I started off with wizardry, so might as well lean into it, right? I did start another game on a separate save file, and I'm going in a different direction in that one, and already everything is very different. Who was this? Shape Land. Alox Water Spring. Oh, that's very new. Let's see about that. So... gonna go back to water. And after that... which one was the best for passive? Don't know, let's just wait out the cooldowns in here. Wait, that's just 64k. Wasn't it 100? something happen that I didn't see? Well, okay then. Guess we're getting a new alchemy recipe then. And then we wait for shape land. Good enough. And there goes the crit. Don't think it's gonna be enough. And that's alteration. Really has no place in this loadout. But let's see what we're getting. Knowledge brew. Extra mental resources. Or dimensional salve. That gives extra spatial stuff. %, max spatial per minute. How does that work for 4 seconds? Well, I guess that means it's just a little extra, okay? Well, here's the thing. This would need 2 levels of expansion. And this would need 2 levels of scholar. And what is it that I wouldn't mind having a little bit more of? Like level 2 scholar does not actually do anything in here. Well, it's good enough for me to keep the scaling of retention back a little bit. And with expansion, it's the same for physicality. Yeah, so really, there is no right answer. But the thing is, I'm already doing the dance expansion for massive spatial resources, so it's not like I'm gonna need this, which would bring us to this one. I guess. Yeah, maybe if I grab this one, that would have been better. Yeah, you know what? I'm a little low on cognitive advancement points, but I have a feeling this is going to be immensely worth it. Especially when I make a new artifact someday. Because only choosing between 2 is sometimes a little rough. Okay. Yeah, I really should have done that beforehand. But that's just the way it is. So we're waiting for 600k water. And then we see what shape land is about. Grab some fruits. Okay. Still no refund. Of course, when I don't record and point it out that it happens multiple times in a row. And it doesn't when I want you to see it. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, you know what? We don't really have anything good that requires us to have magic. And we're gonna have a lot of it anyway. Because we are casting heavy. So let's go with that. I do like this loadout, because the ocular magnification decreases divining cooldown, and the kinetic mind gives momentum, which even further reduces cooldown. So when you have two gather knowledges in here, they just keep stacking. That's pretty nice. Now all I need is 1,000 alchemic scrolls. That's a bit of an investment. But we will get there. Yeah, probably gonna have to make a whole new loadout for alchemy stuff. But we will do it. Okay, now we shouldn't use any water. Okay, here we go. 600k. Unlocking the water spring. What's that gonna be? Okay, what did that do? What did that do? Ah, that's what it did. For 5 empty plots, we can make a shape land. And what does that do? It can be molded into... Oh, we can make a spring with it. I see. And that's gonna take a whole lot of alchemic scrolls, huh? Okay, well. The good news is we did find what I'm gonna have to be working on for the next couple hours. So I think that is enough newness for one day. I'm gonna leave you here and then go back to work. See you after a dozen more hours of pondering, I guess.